27 years ago, Christmas completely changed for Rhonda Gullett. Her 18-year-old sister, Danita, was one of 6 people who were shot and killed during Christmas 1992. 4 youths opened fire, killing 6 people, injuring 2, and the impact of this massacre on their relatives and friends was very deep, starting with petty thefts, including stealing shoes and $40 for dollars. This gang's crime had now reached taking lives for their enjoyment. According to the detectives of this case, they were just killing any person without any reason. There was no solid reason for any murder. They were just doing this all for fun. The 4 people caught for these murders spent most of their time wastefully in Courthouse Square, until they started committing such murders. In December 1992, Dayton City was decorated with holiday decorations and games. Christmas trees were set up in Courthouse Square and other streets. The Dayton Arcade had been reopened where different types of shops were set up, and food facilities were also provided on the occasion of Christmas. When people were spending good time there with their loved ones, they never would have thought what was going to happen to them. A group of young kids was ready to spread terror. Laura Taylor, Marvallous Keene, Heather Matthews, and DeMarcus Smith called themselves the Downtown Posse. They had alienated their families and now wanted to hurt people. "Let's have some fun in life," 16-year-old Taylor told his other friends. One evening before Christmas, they committed the biggest crime in Dayton's history. Their first victim was Joseph Wilkerson. The girls lured him with their charms to his house on Prescott Avenue. And then the 34-year-old General Motors worker was shot and killed. That same night, they also murdered Danita Gullett. She was 18 years old and was using a payphone next to the West Dayton Market. She died before reaching the hospital. Police said Gullett's gym shoes, jacket, and book bag were stolen. Danita's sister Rhonda Gullett said she only said, "Don't shoot me," but they still killed her. She gave them everything she had. "I wish they had left my sister alone." On Christmas Day, 19-year-old Richard Maddox's body was found in a car. He had been shot in the head. Detectives later found out that Richard was Laura Taylor's ex-boyfriend. Jeffrey Wright survived an attempted murder that day outside a house on Yuma Place, despite being shot 4 times. On December 26th, the 4 went to shortstop Mini Mart and shot Sarah Abraham, who was working at her family business during these holidays. The 30-year-old woman died in the hospital 5 days after being shot. A customer named John Speeders was also at the store. He was also shot but survived. At first, Dayton police didn't realize that all these crimes were connected. The first thing that forced us to think about these crimes together was the bullets used in them. Then we started worrying, and we were also finding out whether there was one man behind this, or a gang, and how we would catch them. Burke said they didn't know who they were looking for. The reality was that we were going to catch a stranger for an unknown crime. And that's the hardest work, Burke said. There was no motive behind these murders. On the evening of December 26th, Dayton Police Sergeant John Huber found a stolen car on Cumler Avenue. At that time, he didn't know he was stopping the people behind these murders in Dayton. He cooperated with us and raised his hands. I later found out from the detectives that Laura Taylor had told Marvallous Keene to shoot me, but he didn't do it, Huber said. After so much terror, the gang being caught like this was very surprising. Smith hid in a nearby house, but was immediately arrested from there, and the other 3 Keene, Matthews, and Taylor were also arrested without delay. All 4 criminals of the gang were sent to jail. The gun was found near railway tracks on Richley Avenue. Taylor and Matthews got life imprisonment at the Ohio Reformatory for Women for murder. Smith got the death sentence at Mansfield Correctional Institution. On July 21, 2009, Keene, who was charged with 5 murders, was killed by a lethal injection at the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility in Lucasville. He had no last wish. He was a good student. His brother was killed while stealing in 1991. Perhaps after that, he changed. This had a very deep impact on him, Coates said. After his death, he became depressed. He dropped out of school and became very quiet and kept to himself. Keene went to California to his dad's place, but came back to Dayton in August 1992 due to a fight over money. He was at his mom's house in Dayton. Detective Bruce said that once the killing spree started, everyone willingly participated in it. They started enjoying doing this so much that they dropped their studies. They started living for this. Doing this made them feel their existence, Bruce said. Rondra Gullett said, even today, 25 years later, remembering that day causes a lot of pain. I feel very sad for my family and also for the families of the other murdered people. Rondra said, anyone's life either goes forward or backward. Mine goes like that too, but I think about them a lot. Gullett said that her sister's murder had a very deep impact on her. Due to this incident, her engagement broke, a daughter was lost, and a mother too. 6 years after this incident, my mom suddenly died, Gullett said. My mom died at the age of 51. Her death happened in my sister's grief. Her heart was broken. Gullett is a victims' rights advocate and is doing a master's in it. She said she spends her holidays serving at church and orphanages. Before that gang murdered 18-year-old Danita at the phone booth, they had tried to rob a man. Some people call it thrill killing. Some blame juvenile crime, some family issues. So some call it bad children's mistake. But the truth behind it is that children don't fit into any of these categories. Still, they decided to carry out these incidents and shock everyone.